Hi, people.
Hi, people.
We are here.
Hey.
We're testing the spy game. We're joined by Hermley. Hello.
Hola!
Hola. How's it going?
Wonderful day in the neighborhood.
I've given you're official now. I've given you the little title and the thing of Bravo 4 in the team. Pruitt didn't even get a little thing. He didn't get a designation.
To be fair, I mean, it's Pruitt. I mean, come on.
Oh,
We love you, Pruitt.
love
I
you,
do.
Brew.
He's the best.
He's my hero. Wind beneath my wings.
Have you got anything coming up? Anything going on?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Hell, I draw stuff sometimes for people.
That's cool.
But that's all I can announce right now.
God, so secret, everybody. Both you and Charlie are very like.
Next week, and everything will be
I
revealed.
can't talk about it. It's so cool. I think we all know what's going on. Anyway, V, how's your weekend been?
Yeah, it's been all right. I bought some RPGs, saw some friends,
That's
did
pretty
a
sweet.
ton of writing. So, and found this cap for this session.
I mean, that's good. Cool. Have you got anything coming up you want to chat about?
John Carter live stream over on the Modifius Facebook on Wednesday, which I am running to show the game off a little bit with some of the awesome guys in the office. Lloyd's on there, so it's always bound to be fun. What else am I doing?
Is that
Game of
Lloyd Jan
Thrones.
GM Phenom?
It is the GM Phenom, yes.
It's Jan GM Phenom.
And then I've got Game of Thrones with you on Thursdays. I don't think I'm on this week, I'm not sure, but I'm going to be watching and it's going to be great. I'm in a game with Charlie, the Sky Chasers, which I'm super looking forward to. And I think that's everything that I can talk about at the minute, unless I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I am.
Awesome sauce. Yeah. So Game of Thrones was awesome fun. And this is your turn to watch this week.
I can't wait. It's going to be great.
It's Charlie's turn to play this week.
I know, I'm scared.
Oh,
I get to see my sister and my stepmother just being awesome. So
Wow.
You say
maybe.
awesome.
Are they the same person?
No.
Okay.
No,
I know
they're
it's
not
Game of
Bulgarian.
Thrones.
Wives.
But- Not quite. And I'm really looking forward to the Lost Girls Q&A tonight.
Yes, that is coming up at 3 p.m. We have a huge announcement that I'm very excited about, that I've been working very hard with Susie to get stuff done for this week. Yeah, that's very exciting, and I've been looking forward to it because it's just nice to hang out on Sundays and chat with people, which is what I really like about this stream.
Yeah.
You know, and occasionally we get stuff that's done that's kind of productive, but we try not to too much, you know.
Look, we had a cool chat last week, and it really helped me out. Even so much that I haven't really made any edits yet, but I'm already thinking about my revisions for the gadgets and gear stuff. More in line with how magic items worked in terms of rarity.
Mm-hmm.
And that might actually be the, like, DEFCON rating or whatever it is. Priority rating for the mission or whatnot. But anyway, let's give this stuff a go at least. So I just sent over gadgets. Welcome to my magic items.
I'm Charlie, by the way.
Hi, Charlie. Sorry. And I didn't say very quickly what I was doing. I'm doing everything that they talked about, except not Lost Girls. Playing Sky Chasers, that's cool. I just came up with some character stuff today. And then I'm doing the Game of Thrones game on Thursdays. You can catch on this channel. That's really, really fun. DMing that as well. And then Sundays we're here every week. Kickstarting soon. And then it's all coming together. Nice stuff. All right. Gadgetry. So let's start maybe with Virginia. Virginia, you get a couple of gadgets as part of your technician class. So has anything caught your eye specifically? I know we're just talking about how you didn't get any armor in your base class pick. You are muted as well, though. Still muted.
Still muted.
Whoops. Yeah, the armor ones look really cool. I like some of the ones that are kind of like stuff you can wear underneath like regular clothing, as opposed to like some of the stuff that looks like it's just would look like armor when you wear it.
Yeah, like I haven't specifically like stated it as such, but I think it'll be in the description of it. But you can with undercover vest as well, anyway. Like that's
Yeah.
designed to be underneath clothing for kind of close security. But yeah, like I added a few more bits and bobs in there to give you some cool new options.
Yeah, there is some cool stuff. I quite like the look of the nano weave vest. Doesn't give a huge bonus, but
Ooh.
it just sounds cool.
Oh, look at all my nice little my bookmarks worked out well. Armor, nano weave. Oh yeah. So I think that's I don't think that's too high a level. I haven't properly worked through these yet in terms of like levels and stuff, but like I was just saying, I might change up and make it a little bit more closer to the rarity thing for things, because then it's actually just a bit more condensed, and we're not talking about 9 levels of stuff as well. So nanoweave might be cool. +1 bonus to AC while wearing the vest of tightly woven microfibers. Can be worn even skin tight clothing. So yeah, like it's that I definitely don't have anything on not setting off the metal detectors type stuff. So yeah, that could work well.
Yeah, I quite like the look of that. So I've just been scrolling through. There is so much fun stuff in here that I don't know what I would do within the situation I think we're in. But there's just things like exploding necklaces, which I just love. It's just oh, I do like the augmented reality glasses.
Electronics and communications, is that?
No, it's under clothing.
Right, go me. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, so these are tech from now, really. They were like, I mean, if I remember rightly, they would try to be sold to people, and it would like it's going to change everybody's lives and stuff. But they've actually been employed much more in commercial outlets and stuff. So it's more like if you're on the factory floor of somewhere, they give them to a lot of employees now, kind of foremen and stuff, who will have them on, and then they'll be able to see and overlaid stuff about their job as they're going through, which all sounds really cool. But yeah, but like that kind of stuff you see in a lot of kind of spy or kind of action adventure movies now, where stuff gets overlaid across your vision or over these glasses. So that was like from the moment I was thinking
Like
about
Terminator vision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's classic, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So from the moment I was thinking about
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the instant Simpsons reference that popped into my head. So
Okay.
fair.
don't worry, it happens.
Please, can I have augmented reality glasses, Sam?
Yeah, of course.
What level are they? Because I get 3 first level gadgets and a second level gadget.
Jeez. Okay. They're first level for now, I think.
Yeah.
I think they pretty much are.
Cool.
Classic bladed boots.
They now have an armor class of 12. That's good.
That is
A
good.
little less squishy.
Well, no, you've got an undercover vest. That is an undercover vest with a +1 ace to the AC. So
Oh.
undercover vest. Let me just grab up that
It's
chapter.
12 plus dex.
There you go. So 13 plus dex.
Yay!
Yeah.
Less squishy.
There you go.
Am I allowed a garrote watch, Sam?
From Apple.
Other brands are available. Yeah, certainly.
There's a part of me that feels I need to take it just because it's a garrote. Just
You're going to become a trope of yourself.
Virginia's garrote watch.
You are going to become a trope of yourself.
I mean, aren't I at this point already?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, cool.
Um,
All right.
Oh, I don't know. There's a heat ray watch, which looks interesting.
I think that's too high a level.
Cool.
I see she says cool as she just added it to her inventory.
No, it's fine. There's
No way.
Is a heat ray watch like a really amped up? You know the cigarette lighters you get in cars. It's like, but it's like combined with
Probably.
Superman's ray skill.
I'm trying to remember why I did a heat ray watch. I think maybe it was a magic item, and
Well, no, there's always the thing of like you got the little laser in the watch that you cut things open with and
Yeah.
buy
Is that
stuff.
based on like the circlet
active
The,
denial system.
ray of?
Oh no, this stuff is what the U.S. military have been developing, as is reported, as a non-lethal way of dispersing crowds. It's basically microwaving people.
Interesting.
Um,
That's a little bit horrifying.
and it heats up your skin and it hurts a lot, but so far tests have, well, basically everyone's got out of the way so quickly that there's no damage, like there's no actual.
Well, you do, don't you?
issue
So when you
with
put your hand on the stove and you're like, fuck, that's hot, and you jump 6 feet backwards, and then you knock all the plates over, and then there's china everywhere, and then you got to do the dance around the room to avoid standing on it.
I mean, I don't think that's happening on military ranges around the world where they're testing it.
I think it is. This is true hazards.
I'm actually thinking I should probably get something kind of electronic because I have a tablet as part of my equipment. So,
Yes.
You should think
Ooh.
about
A baby drone or something.
yeah. Oh, there's a radio jammer as well. Blocks radio signals within 50 feet. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi can't send or receive transmissions or data. That could be useful.
Yeah.
That's a good way of blocking security from calling you in.
I like that.
You guys think I should take that?
I think so. I think that's
First or second level, Sam?
Second.
Cool. Okay.
kind of universally handy. Plus, you'll annoy every teenager within 50 feet of you.
Oh my god, yes.
And every Charlie within 50 feet of you. Like,
Oh,
fuck is my
no.
Wi-Fi gone?
To be fair, like all of the things on this gadget list, one of the things I saw, and I'm like, well, how is this not the greatest thing ever? Is the laptop gun. It's a laptop and a submachine gun.
It folds out. It's handy.
Oh, there's so much here, Sam. This is really awesome.
I mean, it's a whole chapter of stuff. I mean, maybe we should, or maybe I should go through it a bit for folks at home as well. So we started with armor. So you got you could have modify a piece of armor to give you a bonus anyway, like you do regularly in Fantasy 5e. Armor of resistance as well can give you resistance to those kind of different damage types. Bullet catching shield is a fun trope I found off the movies. Basically a ballistic shield that has such a strong kind of front magnetic force that it attracts all the bullets to it. So you use your reaction to become the target of that instead. Yeah, and James in chat is right. For Black Cat's Gaming Tabletop, there's so much to pull from, both from the SRD and from movies and stuff. It's so cool. Chameleon suit, nice tropey one as well. Was basically like a bodycon kind of sneaking suit that would change color to its surroundings. So it would literally chameleon into the environment.
Like a green screen suit, but
Yeah, chroma key suit.
chroma key suit.
But you're literally I like the idea of you have to walk around, if there's an EMP or something, you just turn into one of the Blue Man Group or some crazy shit.
Yeah. I did
You imagine if someone hacked that suit and then they were putting different bodies on your body.
Yeah.
They just put stuff on your back so you could never see it. I am a spy.
I did some cool at llamas as well. So I did Hydra armor, and then there's Tarask armor as well. So these are basically those slightly sci-fi, all full body armor suits with cool visual stuff, a bit Iron Man-y, and or a bit kind of stormtroopery from something like Serenity or something. So built-in point of view camera, microphone, body sensors, heartbeat monitor, damage reporting procedures, and head-up display that provides live maps, medical information. It's everything you want from a first-person shooter suit, I guess. So that was my idea for that. And then yeah, like we got into a bit of clothing there as well, didn't we? V, about the augmented reality glasses,
Yeah.
classic bladed boots, bracelet of animal influence. I think that was an SRD conversion. some fun with pheromones.
Fun with pheromones.
Should be this week's episode. Thinking maybe those suction cups should go into the actual equipment list, because they're not exactly a full-blown gadget, are they?
Are there like kind of like any like lock picky stuff for gadgets?
Do you know, nothing springs to mind. Oh wait, no.
Yes.
Look
For like electronic locks and stuff like that, because I've got electrician's tools as a proficiency, but my specialist subject that I picked for my background was electronics, because obviously antique pinball machines and all that fancy stuff.
Got you. So yeah, have a pop open of chapter 3 as well, because I was thinking, take a look at the hacking tools and you can grab yourself like a piece of hacking software.
Cool.
If you wanted like first level hacking tool.
Yeah.
So something like a Dave's tool will break through a password. Cracked web will give you network traffic. Oh, it disrupts network traffic, gives you pop-ups, rewrites search engine results, so it can get them to go to a different like website that you kind of grab their info from or something.
Cool. I was thinking more of like opening like electronically locked doors or cases and
I haven't got
stuff like that.
Yeah, I haven't got like a point and shoot version of that.
Right.
But it's a good shout. I'll note it down because I mean, I'm all about like adding more gadgets, you know.
Let's see.
Yeah, there is the actual like lockpick, but that's not. You're looking for more of the open
Pirate
sesame.
scanner.
Yeah. Actually, I was wondering if like something like the Nmap might make more sense for a hacking tool. It's like scanning other devices on a network, because I've got the tablet and then the augmented reality glasses.
Yeah.
I figure that might just be a nice thing that mixes those together.
Yeah, it maps the network.
Yeah. Can I go for that then as a
Yeah, of course.
as a gadget?
It's your first level. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, excuse me. Cool. All right. Let's do a little briefing then. Once I get the session back up on my computer screen. Professional to the end. Hang on. This one's called Pleasure at the Fairground, simply because I heard Simply Red today at the supermarket. That's an old man joke for you there, Charlie.
How do you know that I love that song? Coming home to you.
It's a really weird chill version. I don't know where they got it from, but I'm interested.
I mean, the original's not chill, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe
Pretty
I'm just
mellow.
misremembering.
Maybe you've only had like a club remix until now.
Oh, Herm, we need to invite you to the Roll20.
Oh, yes.
Join us. Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but eternally loved.
Oh god, is this where me and Charlie just make terrible
We're
adverts all the way
back.
through again?
Yeah.
How you know it's Sunday?
There's a Specsavers joke somewhere with the augmented reality glasses, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you
Oh,
get those
God.
glasses?
All right, Herm, coming in via Twitter.
Coming in hot. Get
Yeah.
ready.
I'm trying to avoid it, so I'm going to get it on the screen. I think we're all good. Alrighty. And then Cool. All right. Let's get the session on the road. Ish. Oh, I opened it twice. What on me? Okay. Cool. All right. So your control for your agency for Bravo Team, the web. Screen comes online in front of you in a on a boat. No, wait, because you wanted a helicopter, didn't you, V?
Mm-hmm.
You want to test a helicopter? All right, in a plush civilian helicopter. On your way to a small Greek island that's been taken over by a large entertainment conglomerate that have put up a amusement park, like a proper full-blown resort style thing. The screen in front of you comes online with its familiar slight blue glow, and blue text begins to come across the screen in those electronic made voices. Begins to read out to you the briefing. The briefing summarizes the fact that you are going to this resort, this holiday resort, this new one, that is staffed entirely by robots. You are going there because the agency believes that there is some ne'er-do-wells doing some crimes, and essentially the hook for this was that there is a French woman. We're in the Mediterranean. There's a French woman who is being extradited to Hungary on armed theft charges. She denies she was never in Hungary and has never been to Hungary, but there's been leaked CCTV footage to news reports around Europe and beyond of clearly her with like a shotgun going into this bank in Hungary and robbing it. The agency did a bit of investigating, and they've also found a number of complaints from people all around Europe who have had essentially their identities stolen in terms of like payments and stuff like that. And the link there between all of them that no one else has, well, you think no one else has been able to find yet, is that they've all been to this resort in the last 6 months, which is it's been open for a good kind of 9 months or so. Do you guys have any questions or want to do any bits of research before we start doing the kind of the actual gadget pick for the mission?
Did we have a name for this French woman?
Charlie, give me a name for this French woman.
I'm
all good for names.
Marie.
So Marie, I have a French cousin, Marie. Marie is an interesting name in France because you always put it with something. So Marie something.
Marie Jacques Klin.
Yeah.
There you go, Marie Jacqueline.
Where's my sheet?
I'm gonna put my page for my notes on from the last time.
So is this you said this resort theme park by not Disney is it's entirely staffed by robots, but is there any like human oversight, or is it just like it's
fully automated?
Yeah.
So the I mean, as like reported, there actually is like a, you know, those like morning news shows that are all like a little bit cheery, as cheery as we can be, and then there's some serious news.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit from like there's like the American one. There's like BBC Breakfast. Like there's versions of this where like a journo's gone out and done this whole kind of, look at this cool new resort and it's really weird and stuff. Isn't it interesting how they have these things and these things? And so there's you get streamed this this news report by some journo going around.
Is it all run by a cryogenically frozen head?
Way to spoil the ending. Come on.
Sorry.
Damn it. So the news report itself describes several things. Basically, it showcases how they give you a kind of smartwatchy bracelet type thing, smartwatch type thing to every single guest, and that gets you on rides. It gets you your dinner. You scan it like the near frequency.
I got one of those downstairs.
Yeah, right. So it uses the near frequency stuff, and more importantly, it links to either a prepaid account or a credit card that allows you to pay. So there is actually no money transactions, no cash transactions going on at the kind of surface level of the resort. The news report towards the end does say that there is human oversight in a small office, but they've essentially kept that just outside the resort to not kind of spoil the thing. There's people in the report, they're typical kind of Vox Pops, where it's like, Susie from Wakefield or something. Not literally Susie, but like...
I say she's not from Wakefield.
No, Sally from Wakefield's all like, well, I thought it were a bit weird, but actually, I don't mind the non-human interaction. And it's like, the canteen staffed by an octopus, and because they're robots, they make them however they want, kind of thing. So it's
I
all.
want to go there. This sounds fun.
Sure. Yeah. So so there are these. It's new technology meets kind of cool, wacky resort type stuff.
Animatronics.
Yeah, it's all weird animatronics. Cool new payment technologies, easy access stuff.
Okay. It's good. My focus on this then would be the one off-site where with the human interactions. Given my skill set, that would be where I would want to apply my kind of pressure to learn anything or manipulate anyone or light things on fire.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. So there's a small essentially what would be like a kind of like Sky Office equivalent, or Google off, fashionable office for people who've been
I would want
moved
to
in and
ask
stuff.
Virginia's character Pinball if they could hack the system so that we could track the bands worn by the suspects, so we can see their movements around the parks or around the resort. We could try and get that information.
Probably, yeah.
Because then we can see if there's a place where they've all gone, or can kind of map possible locations where they're picking up info or doing deals.
I mean, I am proficient with some hacking tools, so I probably could, with my tablet and stuff, we could maybe take a look from a distance and see what's going on.
Plus, we'll probably want our own special identities, since I don't particularly want my credit card being tracked around the park.
No, me neither. There is the upside, though, that with my jammer, we can always be a little bit technologically invisible to some of the stuff happening, if we need to be.
We're giving a gift, sorry.
Pikachu just arrived. Detective Pikachu's here to solve the case.
He is, yeah.
Doesn't need us.
Sorry,
Team member 4.
Can Sam just remind me what the connection between this French woman and this park was?
She went there.
She went there. Okay.
That's pretty much how everyone is connected, is they all went there.
This seems to be the hub of how identities are stolen, or this is the common denominator.
Right. Okay.
I would actually ask, not only if we wanted to find out where, if there was a place all of these people went, but on a lower, possibly easier level that isn't digging into past actions, to be able to have something that says, here's where people are now. So if we're going in there and we want to not be seen or want to stay away from certain areas, we can say, hey, there's this many people in the vicinity. Here's where there are no people.
I think I should be able to do that.
Yeah, you could certainly, I think, use your tablet to just pick up the signals of where people are nearby, and then it would take actually kind of, I think it would take getting into the network, the actual network across the amusement park, to be able to like map out and use your bit of gear to map out the whole network.
Yeah. But yeah, I can try and do that. But we probably need some decent cover identities to get in as well. Like getting one of those watches that they have for me would be really useful, because then I can have a look at the electronics and play around and rewire stuff and things like that.
So the reason why you're flying in on this little private chopper is because you have been the agency's bought some tickets for this amusement park for the three of you, for the fourth for Oz when he's back. And so the cover story as it goes, that I'd love you to elaborate on, is make sure my computer doesn't just like vibrate itself away. Is a kind of not high rollers, that was the last one, but like, you know, plush business people, or I wouldn't say celebrity because it doesn't quite go with your face, Herm. But what kind of cover identities would you guys like? So the tickets and the cover identities I'll kind of bundle up for you and give to you for the mission.
So I imagine that Pinball is going to play up to the whole tech thing, that she's really interested in all the technology, but, you know, she does fix antique pinball machines for a living. So I imagine that there's probably a really cool fancy arcade here that's got loads of cool games and old models and like consoles and stuff like that.
Retro arcade.
Yeah, so she's I think in that kind of like, looks like she's a kind of well-paid tech person that doesn't look like a well-paid tech person.
Are you gonna go with your pinball rival?
I'm just imagining now that Pinball has got a rival that she tells everyone about, and it's just one of her cover identities. It's just a game she's playing with herself.
Nice. I think we could do that. Pinball superstar. Okay. Cool. And the two of you? The other two of you?
Like I say, my idea was what he would generally excel in is being able to sort of get into places as a inspector of some sort, like I'm here to make sure everything is running properly. Here's these forms, whatever, to be able to get to not only everything that's there, but also stuff behind the scenes. So maybe in this instance, it's less like a safety inspector and more like maybe he's like with the Michelin people and wants to see if this resort gets, you know, how many stars.
Resort reviewer. Nice.
That sort of thing, yeah.
At which point I could go as the bodyguard of the critic, because, you know, that person, even though they're meant to be subtle and unseen, that's still the person that's going to get stabbed if they don't give a good review. So I'm like the bodyguard,
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
And that's a good cover for why I would have a stat vest.
Yeah, that works out. V, are you? Is the idea that you are going then, say, like with Herm's character together, or is this a separate? You guys a separate thing?
I think we could go together in that if her was playing this kind of critic, I can come along as like the actual kind of like tech person. It's that like the personality in the sense of like the whole like, oh, I know about the tech and I'm a bit eccentric and like.
Well, it would be sort of like,
witness.
yeah, like I'm looking at like the food and the overall experience, but you could give specific technical criticism or praise. You know, it would.
That works out. Cool.
Yeah, it might be that you're like the critic that's brought in like a tech person to be like, what does all the tech do? Is this good?
And Pimmel's got like a blog, or your cover identity, like Nemesis has got a blog about like all these, like it's either new games or, you know, and they have a massive Twitch channel and all that kind of weird stuff, you know, like big like influencer, blogger, reviewer type person too. It's two reviewers and a bodyguard are going in. You don't need a pilot because you're good enough. Cool.
Why do I feel like we're suddenly a weird meme of ourselves?
Yeah, maybe a bit. All right. So you guys together are collectively free to pick a couple of gadgets. So this is like two. Haven't quite gone through, as I say, all the levels and the costs of everything yet. So give me some suggestions. I'll yay or nay.
Well, first of all, Sam, I don't know if you know this, but you are the greatest person in the world.
Why?
Now, having said that, there's a Tesla rod that looks amazing.
I was about to say like no electric whips. Like
It's not a whip; it's a stick.
Tesla rod. A baton armed with a deadly electric charge. Okay, well it's third level, so we're at first level. 2 first level gadgets.
Okay. Dang it.
That's one I did stat. Well done, me. Thanks, past Sam.
Ha ha ha.
Maybe let's look at tools. Fulton extraction. Why not? Or a little remote control vehicle. Oh, okay, it's a remote control for a vehicle. I remember now. Is that scene in Bond where he drives his car with his phone? Infiltration. Well, attaché cases are always good. They give you some stuff. And it's all like secreted away as well. I don't think body double is a level 1 gadget. Like a literal body double.
I mean, I'm happy for the both of you to kind of pick gadgets that might be useful to you guys, because I already get like a little pool of my own stuff. So if there's anything else that you think we're gonna need outside of like tracking these watches and jamming signals and stuff.
If there's no level on it, I guess it's worth a shot. The exploding pen.
Yeah, okay, if you want an exploding pen.
Again, I'm trying to think of not only when it inevitably turns south.
Yeah.
I've heard stories, and
I've seen them. I've borne witness to them.
No disaster spies here. I don't know what you're talking about, Sam.
You're not allowed. Yeah, exploding pen, exploding gum. It's always a favourite. Yeah, I'll let you have an exploding pen. Also confused after 3 clicks, on another 3 clicks disarms it. So it's an action you can prime, then throw the pen up to 60 feet. Target within 15 feet must make a dex check. Failed save, they take 2d6 fire damage and 2d6 force damage, or half as much on a successful one. No fire support, I'm afraid.
I kind of a bombing run.
No artillery strikes or bombing runs, sorry.
Civilian helicopter, guys. Sorry. I actually quite like the look of the evil twin. It looks quite fun.
We have to Google it again. I'll Google.
It's just a fortunate Wi-Fi access point.
So this is legit a thing. Yeah. Allows you to eavesdrop on information being passed through it. So it acts exactly like a Wi-Fi network, except you get to see everything that goes through it. Everyone's bad search histories.
Can I get some sedative gas?
Yes. I was looking at dark gun.
And sonic lockpick.
You want a sonic lockpick instead?
Do we,
There's
do we
also
get 2? Or is it 1?
You get 1 each.
It's
Oh, I thought it was 1
well,
each.
it's
we
two
get
two
two
across
total.
the 2 total.
Oh, 2 total. Okay. I thought it was like 2 each. That's why I was just like, I was randomly looking at
Hey,
everything.
if you want that, you can take that. I just I'm not saying much that's exciting me right now.
I like that you've got the Babel earphone in here, Sam. Just on a personal note, that it kind of overcomes that language thing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Translates in real time. I think that someone's developing that, genuinely.
Yeah, they're working on that.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Out of interest, what other languages does everyone speak?
I am fluent in English, French, and I speak German.
Ah, both of us speak German. That could be useful.
I don't think I speak any other languages. Just English, I think. I haven't made a note that I speak any other languages, so.
What was your background?
Athlete?
Sport. You speak 2 languages.
Oh. Well, German would be convenient, but I don't know why I'd speak German as a sports person. So, like, unless I was a driver, then it would be real convenient to speak German. But, I don't know why I would speak.
Unless there's a specific sport that you're a fan of that has a German team that you
Can I speak
absolutely
Russian
love.
so that I can bribe the Russian judges at sports competitions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you can speak any second language you like. All good.
Done. Russian.
Rage stimulant.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Is there a first level? Oh, there is. Okay.
I do like the universal solvent.
Yeah.
Just
Well, that's literally from the SRD. There's
Yeah. Yeah, surveillance equipment has a fair few bits and bobs. Bomb detector I haven't had an entry for yet, but
Can I just have some super glue?
I mean,
Tully, you've never sounded more threatening.
The things you can do with super glue. Let me tell you.
yeah. I'll give you some super glue.
Give me some super glue. Thanks. Yeah, I don't mind. If you want to pick like 2 cool things and just have them, that's fine.
I figured the lockpick would probably be in case there were any like just mechanical doors that we wanted to get behind.
Mm-hmm.
But
Doors are the greatest enemy of all RPGs.
They're an encounter all in themselves.
Yeah.
CR Infinity.
But who doesn't want a miniaturized 360-degree camera?
Eh. I don't need to see myself from that angle.
That's fair.
Yeah, pretty much I would just want either like bio warfare stuff or I think that's probably about it.
Well, and I was wondering because if a lot of the actual park is automated,
Right, automated, yeah.
so I mean, there's going to be tourists there, but
Yeah, tourists are real annoying.
here's the thing: tourists are not people. They don't count as people.
Are you preparing your case for when you need to go to Geneva to defend your war crime?
No. It won't get that far. I have an emergency escape plan.
This is fair.
it may be a small priority though when we get there to be able to do some of the stuff we want to do, like tech wise, is finding me somewhere to steal some electricians and mechanics tools. Just saying.
Wouldn't we just pack those things?
I don't know, I picked a tablet of character creation so I don't get mechanics tools. But
Can we not buy those things, but like we use our last extra gadget to get you some bringing tools?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to assume there's going to be some lying around somewhere because you don't have that much automation and robots without having a repair crew of some kind.
Yeah. So like,
What?
Yeah. well, This was the issue we were discussing, really, wasn't it? Where it's like, where does that kind of divide exist between the kind of like standard equipment stuff, gadgets you want to buy, and then in this process. So, yeah, but like, for this specifically, I'd let you take each of those tools for the mission.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Don't give them back, don't lose them.
Yeah.
Web
Yeah.
What if I
literally
pretend
If you
to-
break them,
do not lose these.
but no, really, if you break them, it will affect other characters in other games, on other streams, in different systems.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not allowed. Bad times for everyone.
Why did I have to roll at disadvantage? You remember the electrician tools you stole and broke?
There's a part of me that kind of just wants that to be what Pinball has done. It's just, while everyone else is picking all the stuff out, just going, no one's going to miss a couple of toolkits.
I
Shoving
love that
back.
idea. And you're gonna get this really angry text message from Web later going, what did you take that you weren't meant to?
Yeah.
Well, they're only small toolkits.
Those kits were meant to go with the crew to Japan in the casino. Now they're screwed. Well done.
You know it.
So I imagine that it depends on how what sort of access we are given and what sort of welcome we get.
Can we Google how these robots are powered? If it's all on one circuit, or if they are solar powered, or
Sure, you Google it and you get some vague, proper forward customer facing stuff about how that robots. Yeah, it's a ecologically it's carbon neutral park. Solar paneling provides a lot of the energy, as well as some wind turbines around the coast of the little island.
all right, these things run on nuclear power. Confirmed.
So that there's a tech piece in a tech commentary website about how there's basically docking stations that they go into.
I'm imagining that's on the Top Gear website.
Yeah. So yeah. That's
So yeah, if we get some sort of welcome wagon, we could maybe get behind the scenes to begin with, and I could, because I don't know if we go behind the scenes, if we have maybe a human handler who is sort of oh, and here's this neat thing, and I'm like, okay, and I can interact and just maybe distract him while someone else goes, oh, here's a thing I need, or I want to mess with this.
If it's all robots behind the scenes, shouldn't we just get some sort of bio sign blocker? Because that's all they're going to do. They're just going to run thermal imaging and be like, that's not a fucking robot. That shouldn't be there.
I think
there was a bio blocker, right?
if you grab some.
Can I not do that with a radio jammer? Because it stops Wi-Fi and Bluetooth signals, which is, I imagine, how it transmits all of that. So it could recognize us, but it can't do anything with it.
So in this truly hypothetical situation where the robots have thermal imaging,
Predator robots.
yeah, then they could still see and record using that imagery, but they couldn't transmit it if you did that with your blocker.
To be fair, though, I don't know if they would necessarily know that we were. It's just heat signals, which the robots are going to be just by moving, are going to be putting out heat too. They might not be able to tell that.
If we get those watches, I might be able to play around with them and make it recognize as a staff or something like that.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of admin code, or
It's not
A
going to
guy
be
who-
swipe cards and stuff like that at this tech level.
yeah.
Yeah. Any so what's the confirmed gear pick stuff?
Exploding pen.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna the Sonic lockpick, but if there's something else,
Well, it's gonna be. I don't think Sonic Lockpick's gonna be that useful, because if it's all heavy doors, they'll just be electric. They'll just scan the robot thing and boop them in.
And
It is
since
easy.
Sam has given me mechanics and electronics tools, between us, we
Okay.
should be able to get into those.
okay. So just remove that, and then
I think if you wanted to try and mask thermal stuff, then if you actually grab thermal clothing from the normal equipment, from the standard equipment list, it basically does that because it's an insulator.
True.
Let's just have a little ganders through some of the normal equipment as well. See if there's anything you guys might think about converting. Because one thing you can also do with the gadget picks is instead of picking one from the specific lists here, if you look at just under the using gadgets, you can then as a first level gadget pick, you can miniaturize a standard piece of equipment. You can combine two pieces of standard equipment. You can disguise it as something else. And you can even
My brain just went,
mount
can
it.
I miniaturize tiny house? He's standard equipment, right?
I will remember that. What about some sort of, and this again, I'm talking out my ass, but some sort of small, like, almost like a drone thing, where it's something you could, like, we could attach one of these, smartwatches to that says, hey, here's a person, and have it just go maybe somewhere where it shouldn't and see what happens, things like that.
Yeah.
I like that. We can
I don't
probably
know if
get
that's
one
in
of
the
those,
list.
like, either a drone or like a bomb robot, just a small.
No, that's
Hook it up on a
Put the
remote
pen on it.
control car and just on the car.
yeah.
Zipping around the park.
You put the pen on the very front of it, and if you want it to click, you just run it into a wall 3 times.
3 times.
I think a drone will be less suspicious because I think with the amount of tech level in the park, we
Yeah.
could probably fly that among the tourists and no one would think anything weird about it. Like,
Yeah, I
because it's a weird park, and like worst comes to worst, we can try and make it look like it's on part of the park systems, like electronically.
Cool.
Stick some branding on it, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
So I
they've
think
got to be giving out stickers.
small drone. Small
Small.
Yeah.
drone. It's cool. That works out great. Okie dokie. So along with that, you've got your standard gear from the class. And yeah, so essentially when you land, you are directed via air traffic control off the island of a nearby airport, funnily enough, to the private helicopter pad that's at the resort. You touch down, wind down the engine, and then head on out. At the top of a little private road that you can see down you're on top of this little hill, and you can see down into the resort, and there's roller coasters and a big wheel and lots of like all the kind of it looks really plush, but some of it's got that kind of classic feel. You can see far in the distance you've got more kind of jungle stuff and plants and foliage that's been brought here, and so you think there's probably going to be some animal stuff as well. Water park down the other side, and it extends quite far and is quite extensive. And there is a young woman. She looks very PR, if you know what I mean. Tan skin from being out here in the Greek summer. She's wearing those kind of rep shorts, I think, kind of like small white shorts, but like a kind of like blazer. What do you guys think are the colors of this park? Like, what awful uniform can we get this poor woman to wear?
Well, I know for a fact that one person here hates the color purple, so we're gonna go with purple.
Cool. This park is purple. There's like a little purple golf buggy behind her,
At which point, could she be in like one of these polos? It's like purple and yellow because someone told them that was complimentary, and it's like a bee stripe, and it goes into like green slacks, and then flip flops.
Orange flip flops
Yeah,
Orange
sure.
for safety.
Yeah, they've gone
Oh
for
no, it can't be flip flops for safety. We'll make it Crocs. Orange Crocs.
yeah,
Oh, you made it worse.
they've gone for all the bright colours.
It's just like borderline on hipster.
And then like neckerchief in turquoise.
Yeah. She is very cheery and she greets you. What I need to name this park. Maybe chat can help me, or like we need to come up with some weird ass like robot name for the park.
Weird
sound
ass
kind of-
robot.
Weird ass
It's
robot
gotta
park.
be ironically hipster techie park thing. That's what I'm picturing.
It's good. It's a good name. It's catchy.
Tesla's Robot Zoo.
The robot zoo might be it. It's just the starter. That's a nice starter. Oh man. War Park for short. Weird ass robot park.
It's as per the XK where that comic the rule, it's weird ass hyphen robot. You shift where if it's not weird ass robot, it's weird, ass robot.
Wow. Animatronic dinosaurs. There are definitely animatronic dinosaurs in this park. Some of them are staffing the reception area.
Actually they model it.
It should be called something like the Living Park, which is ironic because literally nothing there is living.
Yeah.
They do that sort of stuff.
Like Spark of Life.
Oh,
yes.
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 All right.
I have a degree in bullshit.
Yeah, I love it. So she is very cheery, and she's saying, "Hi, welcome to Spark of Life. I'm Kayla, and I'm going to be taking you around today." And she's all very kind of, cheery. She gets you into the little golf buggy, loads up your luggage, and down you go. She drives you through these really well-kept, immaculate little kind of streets. They're slightly small. They're all pedestrianised, slightly smaller than a normal street. Often down to just like one lane. And she just drives you around. You can see the park is a mass with, lots of tourists from all over Europe and even beyond. There are a couple of large groups, say like summer camp kids, like summer groups coming over, that kind of thing, like all wearing the same like polos with like kind of like organization logos on the back and stuff like that. Tourists from Japan, tourists from Germany, some from America too, as well as a lot of like kind of French, Spanish, British, lots of different European tourists as well. As you work your way through the crowds on this quite bright day, very hot day, as you've arrived around lunch, just after lunch, it's good check-in time. You head up to the main reception building, which is that day glow purple color that you'll love. She rides you up to the steps with a ramp off to the side, and she says, "Okay, well, so we'll just check in and then we'll show you around." And you head on in. Inside the reception is a say like faux marble, I think. And the reception area, the reception desk itself, is actually in a beautiful light brown wood varnished with a marble top on it. And behind the desk Each of you tell me what kind of robot the 3 robots are behind the desks. Charlie, what weird ass robot is behind desk number 1?
Behind desk number 1 is. It looks like on the bottom it's got 8 legs like a spider, but on top is this circle globe. No, it's like a globe of water, and inside are like 3 little fish.
Okay.
Are they actual fish or are they robot fish?
Go get closer to see.
As it's talking to one of a family that's checking in, its head glows. Like it, you know how they like the light intensity changes based on the speech.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's doing. So the actual water itself.
LEDs and it bubbles. And...
Yeah, exactly. There is a little stream of bubbles coming from the bottom of the tank though, that you can just see, just make out. And then Virginia, what's behind desk number 2?
You're muted.
Damn it.
Every time.
Since we said that there were definitely animatronic dinosaurs, it's totally like an animatronic T-Rex. It's
Like
exactly
one.
what that is. Yeah, like a little one. That's basically what it is, and it's kind of
How does it use the desk? If
Wi-Fi.
with its tiny hands.
Wi-Fi.
Okay, cool.
It's got a virtual keyboard that's like projected up. So
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like hopped up onto a little chair.
The keyboard has come to it. Like,
Yes.
I'm thinking they don't use keyboards though. It's all robots, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I imagine it's just all Wi-Fi, and as it talks, it just occasionally does a.
yeah, it's a comfort thing. It's
Yeah.
Like mimes to suggest like it's doing something.
like it does. Like they don't breathe, but they probably still look like they breathe, just as a comfort feel. You know.
Yeah, it makes it look more
Visualization.
real.
So I knew this was going to be creepy, but you have just creeped me out a little bit. That's cool. That's cool. Well done.
I like animatronic dinosaurs. I'm sorry.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, Herm, what's behind desk number 3?
It's animatronic Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. Okay.
And periodically he says that we were so busy seeing if we could. We didn't ask if we should.
It's that Jeff Goldblum, and he's got like his shirt like open.
Yeah.
And he's led like across.
Yeah,
the
he's actually
desk.
like he's laying on the desk.
Yeah.
I imagine that every couple of minutes there's like a 30-year-old, 40-year-old woman who's kind of like laying herself over it, taking a
That's what
selfie or
I'm
something.
Go.
Yeah. It's not getting any work done.
The party desk.
Yeah, it is. It's the selfie desk. Okay, you're checked in by animatronic T-Rex. First thing is that you are asked to present your passports, which are obviously your cover identity passports. So you present those over, and they've all got they basically takes a scan of the passport photo page. You have to lean over quite a bit to give it to its stumpy hands, stumpy arms, and then after that, it asks you to. Oh, I've lost it. Ask if you are going to want to prepay your account, or if you're going to want to link a credit card to your account whilst you're staying here.
Did we get instruction from the agency as to whether or not we had like a new account made specifically for this, or?
Yeah, my opinion is that cover identities come with these kind of accounts. So the agency could bankroll small purchases, but not like, whacking thousands of dollars kind of stuff.
All right, so we can get the plushie Jeffs. We just can't get the full take-home animatronic Jeffs.
Oh God.
Now that's a weird ass robot.
I imagine Baywatch turns and indicates that her band should be linked to Tiny House's account.
Oh yeah, as if I'm the sort of the employer in this, the whatever, it would be just be like, yep, link it all to this.
Okay.
Bam goes down the platinum card.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
The no limit black credit card.
Okay, maybe I should explain, interject here. What I'm going for with this character is a slightly less sociopathic and has the ability to be a nice person version of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. So,
You just ripped out the core of that character. That doesn't work.
Oh no, it's still there. Trust me.
Okay. I haven't watched it.
Oh,
Neither have I.
oh, you'll never look at Phil
Too
Collins
bad.
the same.
That's true.
That's fair.
Unintentionally hilarious. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, basically like put it down, whatever. It links to a false identity that turned him into the credit card company. Who cares?
All right. Next thing it asks for is each of you to put your fingers on a little piece of acetate that's on the desk to take an imprint of your fingerprints so that you can get into your rooms.
This is where my super glue comes in handy. I have pre-super glued all my fingers, so it will not be able to get a print off of my finger. No matter how hard I try, just this weird texture's left behind.
Okay, are you first?
Sure.
All right. So you put your four fingers down on the thing, and a little red. It glows red after a while with a little like error message thing. You try it again a couple of times.
I like wipe the fingers, wipe the acetate thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks. We have a thing at work where you clock in with your fingerprint, and some people they refuse to do it right. I don't know. They like press down with the no work.
Yeah.
That's me and my tablet because it works on finger, and I'm like.
Charlie, do you want it to take a like an incorrect print and accept it, or do you want it to not be able to take your?
I want it to just not work and to like start being like, what is this park? Like what? Like start causing like a mini scene.
Okay.
This is really inconvenient. This is not gonna look good in the review. I'm really sorry, boss. What can I do?
And as she sort of like is talking about this, I will have a small notepad I pull out of inside my pocket that has like Michelin just sort of subtly written on the outside, and start like
in pencil. Michelin, spelt wrong.
Sharpie.
Yeah.
I in that case I will see what's going on and add to it in the whole kind of looking at the scanner as if I'm kind of being really judgy about it, and then turning to the rep who I'm assuming is still kind of standing with us, being like, I would have thought that fingerprint scanning would have been out. It's very when
The
you've got
weak security
contactless
system.
now, it's just very weak security.
It's
I
very
mean-
2014.
I guess it's just. I'm just gonna turn to Tiny House and just be like, I mean, I kind of expected better for this, didn't you? I mean,
Yeah, I mean they try, and it's a quaint technology, I guess.
I mean, it's very novel if you like that kind of thing, but really in the tech world, and just I'm trying to play up and hoping that she I think we're all pushing for the direction of not having to give our fingerprints, and hoping they're going to be like, oh no, we've definitely got this other thing you can use, of just all three of us putting it to shame.
All right. Could somebody lead a deception check
Tiny.
for me? And you're going to have advantage on this because these guys are helping you too.
Okay, let me see here.
Plus, this is a good excuse for Pinball to start looking at the tech that we've got to deal with.
Deception. 24.
Yeah, all right. So this rep is looking quite panicked. she steps behind the counter. She moves the keyboard away from the T-Rex.
Whose hands
Does it
just
look
keep going
dejected?
like this.
Is it like, aw?
Yeah. Yeah. They've got like weird personalities. This one's just like
Does it just roar at her? I imagine it's just a sad little roar.
yeah.
It's like trying to reach.
Yeah, as she pulls it away, it's still trying to reach for it, but it can't quite get to it. So you see her.
We start seeing a little SOS button flashing on the side of its head.
Yeah. Its eyes are just flashing red, just like yeah. And you see her start to. You see her. Virginia, you see this more clearly than the other guys, from your experience. Or if anyone's got training in infotech, this is a particular thing for them. It's the whole like Control Alt Delete. Like she's clearly had to log into this. The screen itself, that's just, you imagine just down below the on the desk itself. You actually see it light up. Like it clearly hasn't been. The screen hasn't been on itself. Like it's all been going on through the T-Rex and stuff. You can imagine.
There have been an opportunity for myself or Pinball to have seen the code that she put in if she's manually inputting for access.
I was hoping that because my glasses have got a camera on them, that I could do the like, oh, I'm interested to see like the T-Rex and lean over. I don't have to look at her.
Yeah.
But as long as my the glasses in a direction, I can look at the T-Rex and hope that the camera picks up what she puts in, and I can view it later on the tablet.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna try and record whatever she's inputting by pretending to be like just talking bullshit about the tech of like, well, this is quite interesting. This has been done well, and still just going, it's such a shame about the fingerprint scanning.
Yeah. So she's logged into the system. It takes her a few minutes. It's that awkward thing when either something's going wrong at work or you are complaining, and people are trying to fix it for you, but it's not fast. Like they are exactly yeah. They are not quite prepared for that. Like it's clear from like you see that the other queue with the weird fish tank robot, like. It processes like whole groups of people. It's like 5 families have gone through by the time.
Efficient.
Yeah, and like nothing is going wrong. Like even the kids with like sugary or smushy fingerprints, like all this stuff. Like you've just taken the opportunity, Charlie, to mess this up really, really well. So. She's having a hard time, and I'm stalling while I'm trying to figure out exactly how they would try and cope with it. So
what I would do in this instance is I would sort of, as she's doing that frantic like, oh shit, oh god, I would be that kind of guy just like that steps up, you know stuff like this happens. I get it. I would like relay a story about, I was at this casino in Japan when it first opened, the horror stories of stuff that went wrong. You would not believe it.
Yeah.
The toilet clogged. Oh god. Just something that's enough to maybe disarm her.
Sure. Roll me persuasion. Sure, that's one of my skills.
This is turning into like 3 hours of us just trying to check in.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly having flashbacks about an old job.
Me too.
17.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. This disarms her. She feels. You see her let her guard down a little bit from your training specifically as well, and she's like kind of like, yeah, I'm sorry, this never really happens. And she looks at Charlie's character just for a second, like she looks at Baywatch just for a second. It's just like, well, she does the no spoilers. She does the Daenerys face, kind of. This never really happens.
We could come back and do the fingerprints later. Maybe we should just move on to the next step.
Okay, well, and she's kind of taking over from the T-Rex now, who's still trying to type at the keyboard. And she's like, she gives you the little the little bracelets. They're kind of like those coloured, not jelly, but they were like the coloured kind of really small watch wristband things that I think I've seen around. They don't really display the time or anything, but they do have a slightly watch shape to them on the front. But there's no actual face. But you imagine, Virginia, that is where the little chip and the actual little device will sit.
It's so tempting to go and get my band right now. I know exactly where it is.
I imagine that Pinball, when she picks it up, does like a whole inspection of it. It's like, just surprised they didn't fit the room locking to these, and puts it on her. It's like a slightly snarky comment, and then looks over at Tiny as if to be like, you should note that down in your review. In that almost like, well, they didn't think of that, did they?
Exactly, they do that in Disney, and if you lose that band, you're screwed.
So well, she's like, well, where do you want to leave your luggage?
I assume we'd leave it we take it, it would be taken to a room.
I mean, we can do that, but if see, it's very clear that like guests and no, I suppose actually we could do that. I'll get one of the the cleaning service robot team to take it over. I think they could get into rooms and stuff. So yeah, let's do that. And she steps away for a second, and she's speaking on a walkie-talkie. For a second, she's speaking quite quietly out of the way. You can't hear it unless you strain to try.
I would definitely be like,
yeah. All right. Roll me perception then.
numbers just keep going down each time.
Oh.
Perception. That's a 12.
Okay, you don't quite make out what she's saying, but she is basically, you can kind of understand, relaying the instructions she said to you. There's a bit of back and forth between her and this kind of like wherever she's talking to, but she gets through in the end, and she's kind of like, she's happy. She gives it a nod, and she puts the walkie-talkie down and say, "Okay, cool. Well, I mean, what do you want to see first?"
I mean, I assumed that we were just going to be getting a guided tour. All of the interesting background tech, starting behind the scenes. Was this not planned? And again, Pinball's just going to look over at a tiny house.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been told that you were given like kind of freedom of the park. Like you've got the green band, so that gets you anywhere.
Well, where would you begin?
Personally, I really love the robot world. No, the robot world, the dinosaur world. I mean, we're in robot world, but yeah, sorry, no, the dinosaur world. And yeah, we could start there if you like. It's kind of like a safari ride thing with all the dinosaurs around. And there's big like balls you can get inside and run around with the dinosaurs in and stuff.
Well, let's go down. Be interested to see how that works.
Okay.
Baywatch genuinely looks really excited about this. To Baywatch.
All right. Okay, so as you head on down these little like weird little streets, everything's impeccable. All the heteros are perfect shape. You see at some point little gardener robots that basically just little scissors on wheels, and they're just trimming hedges, and they're literally like taking off a centimeter or like half a centimeter of this hedge. They're just going over it and just keeping it pristine. You're heading towards Dinosaur World, and you can see it. You just notice from obviously what you're looking out for, your training, that there are these security cameras just hidden away in corners up towards trees. There's nothing obvious about them, so it's very unintrusive. But they are there, particularly. you see people at like confectionery stands and little like some like pop-uppy style news agents and stuff, people who want to get stuff, or little toy or balloon like stands. You see people using these things. All they do, they just tap them, the thing opens, or they tap them and they get handed something, so they get what they want. So it's all this kind of stuff. There's a few different color bands, like there's a red and a blue. The Kayla who's showing you around, she's got a purple wristband. Just as a note, I think that makes sense. And then that's about it, I think, in terms of that.
How tightly are they slid over the hand to the wrist, or do they like fasten?
Yeah, they fasten like a watch. They're a strap.
Okay.
As we're walking, I want to, with the glasses, is looking around and using its GPS locator and its uplink stuff to just start basically mapping out everywhere that we've been, and taking note of where all those cameras are and other bits and pieces, so that later on we can sit down in front of the tablet and kind of open up at least a map of the places we've been and figure out where security is and stuff like that.
I would definitely be doing like the touristy thing of having my cell phone out and taking just like, oh, that's a neat picture. Oh, hey.
Cool. I think a couple of things from that. One from Virginia. I think you will have, before arriving at the very least, downloaded and created an overlay map of the resort. And it's one of those isometric, like drawn out, kind of almost cut out cartoony versions. But what your software has been able to do is take a GPS or kind of satellite photography of the place, overlay it so that actually you can move it. Like if you wanted, you could do the whole like Minority Report, move it around type thing if you wanted. But this is giving you a map of like an isometric thing overlaid on the cartoon of where you're going. And you head from the center out towards the dinosaur park, which we could say is like in the northwest section of the park, and you landed in like the southeast corner. So you're doing a whole like
trek around. It's mostly just so that we can see on the map where some of those cameras and stuff are, and we can add that to it. So I imagine that's what it's probably doing, is like updating that map and adding bits to it as we go.
Yeah. Okay, Herm, are you using roaming data, or are you using the park's Wi-Fi?
I would go ahead and use the park's Wi-Fi.
Cool.
This is just a burner cell phone, so it has no actual connection or anything. It was more just to specifically get some specific images, and I feel it's exactly what a reviewer would kind of be like. Oh, here's a wonderful picture of this is an interesting thing that I include in the article, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool. All right. So it's that theme thing from the class features.
Yeah.
You're like you're playing that theme. You're being the reviewer. That's cool.
Yeah. Anything that sort of looks at, oh, what's he doing? Oh, well, here's pictures of this. Yeah, it's
sweet.
Nothing would contradict that.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything you want to be taking photos of particularly, or looking out for?
I would try to, as much as possible, be taking pictures of. Try to include, like maybe like points of, I need to get the hell out of here. What's the easiest way out? Like emergency exits, that sort of thing, and like where the cameras are. But trying to do so in such a way as to capture, like, hey, all the people who are here at the time, and make it seem like that's what I'm taking a picture of, not this other thing.
Cool. Let's make that roll for the class feature, because this is one of my favorites.
I didn't know there was a roll. Shit. Just D20.
Yeah, and then we're gonna add a couple of things to it too, though.
Well, it's an 8. Keeps going down.
Oh. So with theme, you make an infiltration check, and you add your charisma bonus to blend into the scene and gain intelligence about the location.
Charisma bonus is +3. Well, actually, okay, wait.
So you're going to add your infiltration skill modifier. So that's going to be, if you're proficient with it, that's going to be your proficiency
Yes.
bonus. Add your intelligence modifier to that, I believe, for infiltration. Wisdom, yeah. And then you also add, as a bonus, your charisma modifier.
Okay, so that's 3 and 3, so that is a total of 14.
Cool. All right. Nice. So yeah, you get some good basic shots of figuring out that there are fire or like there are emergency escape doors and little lanes and stuff. Again, it's very unintrusive. They're hidden a little bit behind either like kind of like false walls, kind of posters, or like screens with like displays of what the rides are and where you need to go and stuff, interactive maps. But from that and Virginia, as he's taking photos, it's uploading to your augmented glasses. And like so you're taking shots of stuff that are designed to be both used while people are enjoying the park, but then also either guide people to the emergency exits or actually become them themselves. There are a few instances of, again, like hedges or a little flank of trees that are masking something, like a normal fire exit, like you'd push out through or something, or a gate that would be stopping people from going through. So yeah. You got those kind of things. Anything else before Dinosaur World?
I think for the most part, Baywatch is being pretty.
That was for
not my thing.
No, that was for V.
That's me. Don't worry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think for the most part, Baywatch is just playing, being super vigilant. Occasionally, we'll pause by like the merchandise stands and have a look over the items there. But mostly just keeping an eye on what she's meant to be keeping an eye on if she's a bodyguard.
Can you please intimidate a child?
I do that thing where the child is running and I purposely step into its path and it's not looking and I just stand there and let it collide with me.
You get a bonus.
This little boy bumps into you and starts crying for his parents. And they come along and they apologize profusely for him being a little tearaway.
Oh, no, it was my fault.
The dad kind of looks at you knowingly. And then they walk off in the opposite direction from Dino World.
I take a picture of that guy.
Okay.
I will remember him. I'm going to ruin his life later.
Oh.
But okay, as this incident happened, since if I'm going to do this, there has to be a reason for me to do this, apart from me just answering Ham's whims. Do we see any reaction from the AI around us? Like, do little cameras pop up and like zoom in on the crying child, or?
Make me a perception check.
Okay. Character sheet.
While this is happening, and I imagine like the reps at the front and all this is going on, I want to turn to a tiny house, and I've got my little tablet up that's probably like this big, the size of my actual tablet, and on it I've got open like that hacking software that kind of can map systems and things like that. And I'm gonna be like, I need you to take a picture for me. And when I say picture, I obviously don't mean picture, but I'm gonna hand him the tablet. So once Charlie is finished up and like the rep's been distracted and I've passed this on, I want to try and get a picture with the rep that I've got the wristbands in, so I can try and scan hers and map it so I can map ours to be the same later. But I need someone to take the picture because it's weird if I do it.
So my Roll20 isn't working. Can someone just roll a d20 for me?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Not me.
You just like screen of death on me, so.
Oh.
I've just rolled one for you, Charlie, and it's a natural 20.
Yay, +1 is 21. Thanks, Virginia.
Cool. All right. You don't notice any particular cameras like pop up from hedgerows or poke their head round the tree or anything like that. There is no visible difference in how the scene is or how any of the like weird animatronic like there are cartoon dinosaurs walking around here now, like kind of Barney-esque stuff, just to freak kids out because they all did. But yeah, there's nothing acts differently. But you do notice that there are a couple of cameras up in towards like kind of a tree line that would quite clearly have seen what happened. They've got essentially what you take away from this is they have cameras covering pretty much most corners.
But there's no responsive security.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean you can like wait around. The family's walking away, but essentially nothing's escalated. So it's not like you're having
merchandise vendor's head didn't go.
No. They've still got weird robot grins on and giving out candy to kids. Okay,
Hey kids, free candy.
Yeah. Virginia, you wanted to like kind of scan the thing. So basically,
yeah. So I give the tablet to Tiny House.
Yeah.
And it's literally just like press the button and it will do the scan as if it's taking but he can pretend it's like taking a picture. So I'm going to go up to the rep and be like, Kayla, I really like these wristbands. I'm very impressed. That's just the look of them, the tech. Can I get a picture with you with yours as well for my blog? I'd love to write more about these.
Okay. Roll me a deception check.
Okay.
Ask her what the colors mean.
I'll probably do that while like chatting to her about it while Tiny House tries to set up the photo. But oh god, I'm not good at deception.
I mean, I would reinforce that as much as I possibly could to
have advantage.
Exactly to get advantage, but
could I push for using something like Infotech? I'm trying to just like tech babble at her with this. No, okay.
No, this is you are trying to get her into a situation like this is deception to me.
18.
Okay, good. Yeah. So I mean, we're going off like a passive wisdom. It's going to be like 11 or 12 or something. But yeah, so great. So she I mean, because this is the vibe you get. Like she's probably not in on anything. Like she is a rep. Like she is genuinely employed here. So she's like, oh yeah, cool. Well, so, so they all work with like I can't remember what it is, like NR blah 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 technology, and it's kind of radio kind of signal is really strong, but it's very very like the techies have worked out that it's very very short distance and stuff with wavelengths. So basically, you're not going to get a lot of that problems when you get with debit cards and people paying. Like, because I had this one time at this Starbucks where this guy leaned over and like I didn't mind, but like paid for my coffee with it, like because he had his card in his jacket pocket. But like we've managed to neutralize like 95% of that happening. So even when you've got stuff with, particularly with kids who will just like wave their wristbands at anybody, like anything they want to buy, there's lots of there's basically child lock stuff for parents. So basically they could, they would like get a notification. So there are actually different wristbands for parents who actually want a display. And she's going through all this stuff about how the protection of stuff.
Can I find out how many types of wristband there are from her while she's saying this? Like, I want to kind of lead her into being like, we've got this kind and this kind, and
yeah. So kids are always like a bright orange, and those are the ones that will have no displays and will have parental controls on them if the parents want, and the parents will be able to customize all of that. Adults are usually given. I think it's a blue. I think I gave you guys a green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's basically two different. So the blues will be just like a standard ticket for adults, and not only does that help out in terms of what rides you can go on, it allows you to skip. Then your green one is like skipping queues, getting into like VIP
VIP.
areas. Yeah. The blue and the orange also helps out, like with like if kids try and go on a roller coaster on their own, they won't be allowed. Like you have to be a certain height type stuff. Like it all feeds into those kind of biometrics based on like passport and like booking information and stuff. And then your green one's basically VIP versions of that, and are only given out to adults. So there is actually VIP areas will have access to more of those kind of like drinking or different versions of entertainment, different movies, all of that kind of stuff. And then stuff.
Robot stripper Jeff Goldblum.
Canon now.
Oh, this was wholesome. This was really wholesome.
Oh, Charlie warned you, I'm sure.
And then staff are purple. Yeah, and then
Cool.
the purple ones. She because you roll quite well, like she gives away because you inquire a little bit about kind of are their staff privileges, what level kind of like are you at compared to like I don't know, the CEO or something. So the purple ones are all specifically programmed to specific personnel, and so she will have certain privileges compared to other staff who come along, mechanics technicians who come along and work in the actual park or around the park. Like they'll have purple wristbands, but they'll have different privileges, all that kind of stuff. So she says like I couldn't get into like a back maintenance area because that's just not my thing, but I can get anywhere around the park, and so basically if we really need to like get in and see a little bit of how stuff works because of your review and stuff, then we can do that. Like I can kind of get us in.
Okay, in which case I'd be like, cool, can I get I just want a picture of these for the blog and like do the whole like trying to put like when people show off watches and stuff like that, getting them next to each other with a smiling, so it's like one further out, but then the close-up one is where you actually scan, where Tiny House will scan the device,
Yeah,
and then hopefully I can look at it later and map it.
absolutely.
What I'm thinking at the minute is they have a central system that this is all controlled by, so if we can get into that, we can program our watches to do whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest, if you're stealing people's identities, you're going to do it from central system. You're not just going to steal a watch.
It seems easier than stealing the
It's
watch.
easier. You just go into the HQ server, you just take a block of data you want.
Change permissions.
Yeah.
Turn child lock off.
This is much easier than shooting her in the back of the head and taking her watch. So this is a much better plan.
I feel like missing watches though are easily shut off, just
Mhm.
like missing key cards in places where you just cancel them. So easier to change ours than to get stuck somewhere with a dead wristband.
Okay, so this is going to be your scan thing with the let's say the Nmap.
I would have set it up for Tiny House, so all you had to do was like click a button.
Uh-huh.
It's what my plan would have been.
Let me just check the actions. They're not here, are they? They're in the class thing. Let's look for hacker quickly. Just want to make sure I get it right rather than just going by what I think is right. Okay, so I am going to ask... yeah, so basically, V, you're the one that set this up. I'm going to ask you to make the access roll check for me. So it's basically going to be infotech. Yeah, an infotech test check. And the difficulty... Cool, yeah, it's going to be 15.
Cool. Oh, that was bad. That is 9.
Okay. I am going to need you...
Does my specialist subject help at all? I can't remember what that does.
What is your specialist subject?
Electronics.
Okay, well then I will give you advantage.
Cool. Let me do that again.
I think it does advantage. Let's check. So this is one of the background features
For
academic.
I think
You have advantage on any rolls using your specialist subject, and may discern any basic answers by asking me.
Cool. So that'll be 20 in total, not natural, then, if with advantage.
Okay, cool. I need... Okay. Herm, I need you to roll for me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Well, shitballs. Okay. Every time lower. Let's see. That's a number. Intelligence saving throw. Yeah, that's a straight 5.
Okay. So Herm, what you see on the screen is part of this software is all loaded up. So there's quite a lot of coding and like command lines have been entered already for you to just hit the button. As you do so, a few more lines come down. You don't quite understand exactly what it means, but you get the idea the process has been stopped halfway. Like it's tried and it stops, and it like tries to access again and it gets stopped. Is there anything you want to do? Do you want to hang around and try and keep going for a bit, or? I
would be like, oh, I think your Linux is, I think it broke it.
Oh God, is it frozen again? I keep saying, and I'll go over and can I see what's wrong with it? I'm just going to do the whole thing of like, oh crap, it's the tablet's kicked out something, and just see if I can. Is there any? Do I can see what the problem is?
Yeah, essentially, it has tried to access the watch thing. As it does, something stops it, like the connection gets broken.
Right,
so
like
it tries
a firewall or something like that.
Yeah, so something like that. So it tries and it gets stopped. It tried it. It tried it a couple of times. Like this software will just kind of try and keep going.
Cool. That's fine. Will the software be able to tell me what kind of firewall it is and stuff like that?
No. What you would have to do is our hacker would have to manually try and go in and figure
That's
out.
That's what I was thinking. I was just wondering if it could tell me what it is, and I could relay that to Oz next week.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'd be like, oh wait, no, it's fine. It's taken the picture. It was just. Don't worry. I'm just going to pretend that like, oh, it wasn't really a problem. It's just it does it a weird way and it looks weird. And
yeah,
I'll play it off like me and technology. What are you gonna do?
Waka waka.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you make your way to Dino World and skip the queue, and you guys walk into a lush, like biodome environment. It's really humid in here. There are some amazing plants that you guys have never seen before, and it's literally like walking into a dinosaur safari. There's no track you have to follow. There aren't any fences or barriers anywhere. And the first thing that kind of greets you are these little, like, waist-high, like, tiny velociraptor-y type dinosaurs that I clearly don't know the name of, that are like scampering around you and like running off in a little group and like playing and like snapping at each other and stuff. And then you look up and it's that classic Jurassic Park Diplodocus like shot where they're all like, it's this huge dinosaur and it's just basically there. There's one of them and it's more towards the center of the biodome, but it is an absolutely awe-inspiring sight as these basically what look to be true to life dinosaurs are just like walking around this area with people like walking by them and stuff and checking them all out. But it is 5 to 6, so let's wrap up for today. This was
I was just having fun.
I know. But
Look at all the dinosaurs everywhere, Sam.
You've got a Q&A to prep.
I do.
Oh, this leaves me with questions, because if they're just roaming around, that means that they're able to track where people are
Yep, they got little
Oh.
scanners in them so they can
That's-
track you all the time.
This is the kind of paranoia I want to instill.
No, this isn't paranoia. This is excitement for when Oz is here next week and can hack it all, and then I can mash electronics together with Oz, so that the two people who don't have to sit as nerds in a van can go off and do even more awesome stuff with electronics that we've smashed together. I'm so excited.
And they can control giant dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to ride dinosaurs? Because I think me and Oz can make that happen.
Yes, Baywatch has been working her entire life for that moment.
That's all I ever wanted. Amazing, cool. Well, this has been more of a actual kind of get down and role play in the game this session. I expected, for there to be a bit kind of a crunch of like, let's pick some gadgets and let's talk about all the equipment and this, that, and the other. But it was actually quite cool. Like we didn't have to dwell on that too much. Maybe that's the ethos I want to instill, as well as catering for the people like me who really love some kind of quartermastering and like getting down into the what to take and what not to take. Charlie, did your fears come alive in terms of like people picking as a group and kind of fighting over bits and bobs that they wanted, or because I know you kind of gave up your thing and was like, I'm cool for stuff and
I still think like it could be a potential issue with some groups, but I think most groups will be able to negotiate it, especially if they've played together before and they know each other. And they know, this is just one mission, and if you survive it, you get to go on another one, and then you can have stuff. I think it is more like a DM's problem, but it's just the issue with a game where you get to pick things, and there's a limit on how many things you get to pick, and it's less than the number of players you have.
Yeah.
Obviously, we lucked out that we have a gadgeteer with us, so we get all the extra gadgets from that that can be used to help us.
And I've dwelled a bit on the technician being the one who gets kind of a load more stuff. Basically, in some instances, like at the very early stages at least, doubling the amount of stuff that you have as a group. But then again, they have very few class features themselves, so they're reliant on their gadgets.
Stuff doesn't get you everything. Like,
Yeah.
still gonna need people who can physically run, who can physically do other things that you can't just get a gadget to necessarily do all the time.
And those gadgets are limited as well, especially at the lower levels, because they don't. So like the augmented reality glasses are nice because they've got cameras and microphones, but you have to have other stuff to use that with. And I think the same thing for like the radio jammer. It's really useful, but if all you can do is jam a radio and you haven't got anyone else who can help you out with stuff, there's not much to do. I think it's what comes with kind of when you get support class characters, which is what I feel like this is. It's a lot less like in the moment active and more like I'm going to do all of this stuff to do a thing that I can then give on to the other more physically capable people of the group.
And I think that was a little bit of the play I observed today, I think, was like that little bit of like prep or even mid-game, like mid-scenario going, oh, well, actually, like, I'll have prepped like this specific thing, like the map stuff, and I don't mind that kind of stuff. And I'm past my GMing years of going, oh, well, you didn't tell me, well, you didn't do it, and all that kind of stuff.
I think this game definitely would be one of its strengths, to be able to say like, hey, if we'd had this in an intel report, we would have done this.
Yeah.
And it was almost a feature of it to like react that way.
Yeah. That's certainly the guidance that I'll give. I think you're absolutely right.
I think we saw today as well, this is kind of our first instance of having a planning phase where we've gone, all right, what would we actually need? What would we want? What could we do in advance?
Yeah.
Personally, as a player, I think I'm going to prefer raw drops and just make it up as you go along, because that's just the sort of player I am. And planning phase, I'm just like, all right, when we go there, it's all going to go wrong. So this is just a waste of our time.
Oh,
So...
but you can mitigate.
Yeah.
Hence the exploding
But that's
pen.
just me as a player. That's just me as a player. I always want to get into the story. I always want to get into things going wrong, things going right, improvising.
Sure.
Whereas a lot of people really love planning phases and coming up with these elaborate plans and getting to, like you say, mitigate things and do things in advance and make little extra rolls. And I think that adds to play for support classes. The weird thing is I play support classes quite a lot in D&D.
Right.
I'm still like, I want to be like in the moment support, not advanced support. But that's just my personal preference.
I understand that.
Especially since, once the dice are thrown in, it's gonna go wrong. It's just gonna go wrong. It never survives.
Herm's beautiful dice curve. Yeah.
Sorry, Virginia.
That's all right. As I say, I actually like, as a player and as a GM, I'm not a big fan of like loads of planning in like standard D&D, because my players tend to go off track when I make them do that, because anything can happen. And I'm kind of like Charlie in a sense of I like to get to the action and do that. But in this, I actually quite enjoy the planning because there is a structure to it. There is a finding out specific information, and that's not just overall, that's individual to each character, because we've got vastly different skill sets. Whereas in like standard D&D, it's like you just want to know about the situation and probably who you're killing. Whereas this, it's like I want to know about what tech stuff can I get hold of already. Whereas, Herm's character is looking at a different aspect of that. So that actually makes it quite fun, because then you can start planning what your character might do as opposed to just what your group might do. And the fact that it's, you have got that kind of requisitioning items and trying to make that fit into all of these little plans that you've built for yourselves and for the group together. It's actually quite interesting because it's so central to how the missions play out. It's not boring in the way that I find it boring for regular D&D.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And that is, I think, going to be a key part of that and a key bit of kind of balancing of how that feels at the table. So yeah, I already think, like I said, I'll do a bit of development on changing the like mission priorities and changing like the levels of gadgets, so actually you have a bit broader scope to pick what you want.
One thing I would maybe suggest for the planning phase is to make it an actual phase within the game,
Mm-hmm.
the rule set. And because the most similar thing to this I can think of is like in Adventures of Middle-earth, you have the traveling phase, and there are tables that you can roll in, and this is going to give you a +1 to your first roll on this mission if you do really well in that first traveling stage, in the embarking stage. And that sort of thing is actually really fun and added so much to that experience within that game. It was 5e, but it was, oh, that's really cool. That's a new thing, and it makes that playing stage worth it, not just for the people with the gadgets and getting a little bit of extra intel, but you get a +1 on your first roll, or you really screwed up, you get disadvantage on your first roll, or little things like that.
Yep.
So however well that planning phase goes affects the start of your mission, and it makes that mechanically important, and that's gonna, I think, engage people a little bit more than just
absolutely.
sit back and let the planners plan, and then you just go with whatever everyone says.
Yeah. And I think I get the feeling
Tell me what we're doing.
briefing is going to be key as well. And when we're writing adventures, the information you give to the group is going to be absolutely imperative to how they view their equipment
how they understand
list.
the world and how they understand what they're meant to do.
Yeah.
And one
what they're gonna
misunderstanding
take.
will completely change the mission.
Yeah.
And there's also the idea that you're assuming that your briefing, that all of this that you're getting is accurate. It's very possible that you could have complete inaccurate information, or information that on a surface level is accurate, but deep down below, where all my rolls are going, that's where it's completely different.
It's all right, Herm. It'll come back around. You'll have a nat 20 next time.
Or you'll be me and have 2 weeks of cursed rolling.
You've passed on the curse, Charlie. It's fine.
Yeah.
I actually was rolling pretty well yesterday, so maybe.
There you go.
I like that my rolls did start to decline. Just started off at the top. Just
But you got me at
way
that
too early.
I haven't seen one of those in weeks.
That one was for you, Charlie.
Oh, bless. Yeah, it was for you, isn't it? Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, lovelies. It has been wonderful as ever. Herm, do you enjoy yourself?
Heck yeah.
You coming back next
coming
week?
back?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, you'll regret that.
We need you now. Part of the story.
Integral part of our story now.
Cool, awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. We'll do some plugs for yourselves very quickly just after this, but let me do my plug for this, seeing as I did the Kickstarter video yesterday, so it's all vaguely, freshly in my head. So we did a bit of recording yesterday for this. So the Kickstarter is coming soon. That should be kickstarting throughout June. We're basically building it from the ground up, as you'll be able to see from the stretch goals and the pledges that will pop up on there. So please help us out. Let us enter this world of the agencies and clandestine operations on this modern 5e based game, because it will be an absolutely rip-roaring adventure from start to finish. I'm really, really excited for it, and hella nervous for it to actually get out and become a real thing. Yeah. You can find me streaming on this channel every Sunday and Thursday night. Thursday night we're doing, well, GMT at least, we're doing the After the Fire game, which is our Westeros-based Song of Ice and Fire Game of Thrones game, set 100 years before the books, just after the Blackfire Rebellion, and House Greenmont are in a bit of a disaster area in terms of their lineage, their heirs, everything like that, and they're trying to mend their political situation after backing the wrong person in the rebellion. They back the traitor. So they are traitors, I'm afraid, but they still got their house just. Charlie is playing Marcia, who is just about to have a little baby from the unfortunately now deceased Lord Greenmont.
Yeah, you killed my husband last session.
We all killed your husband in character creation.
We did.
Not Herm. Herm is responsible.
Herm's an innocent party.
I'm an angel.
Sure.
Oh, could we have Herm come and guest as Sad Santa?
Yeah, we could do.
As what?
We did a prep session where I basically rolled up Sad Santa. There is it Merryweather? House Merryweather?
House of Merryweather, he's the head, and he got dragged out on this stag do that turned out to be a war, and everything kind of went wrong, and he comes back and his wife's dead, but he was this jolly party dude. He's got
a little baby.
And he has a little baby.
Doesn't know what to do with it.
And he's Sad Santa.
Okay, so I was gonna go dig out my Satan Claus hat, but see now this actually isn't Santa. He's just a happy guy.
Yeah, my inspiration was Ghost of Christmas Present from Muppets Christmas Carol. That's why he's Sad Santa. He's kind of, he's large, he enjoys life, big beard, drinks lots, great fun.
Yeah, as Sam mentioned, here on Thursdays and Sundays, but keep out for his sneaky extra streams where he's making NPCs and talking shit and
Go get affiliate.
Just has talking shit streams like, Charlie's full of shit all the time.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. Virginia's character just got married. She's Mara, now Oakheart. And she's going to have lots of fun with her racist in-laws.
Who I've already told to sit down and shut up once on the way into my wedding. They decided to pull a load of rubbish about how can't have this Dornishman walk you down the aisle. We haven't had a Dornishman in this set for 100 years. And I was like, bitch, have you forgotten I'm half Dornish and I'm marrying your son? Move.
And she was like, can you not have a messenger to it?
I was like, excuse me, I'm a noble woman. No, I can't have a messenger. I'm going to have this guy.
I think the exact quote was, can you not get your boy to do it?
Yeah.
Can you have your man do it?
It's like, no. Why don't you move? Just go sit down.
Yeah.
And
then his wife thought she could tut at my wedding.
If you didn't see the episode, go and watch it. Virginia is just killer as Mara. So badass. So Oliver, everyone is in love with and just is amazing and is the savior of our house. And then there's Simon, the disaster child.
Disaster child, unfortunately. Yeah. Not sorry. But yeah, I'll pop the first episode up on YouTube pretty soon, probably like the Monday, Tuesday. These will go up as well on here. We're doing this every Sunday from 4 p.m. British summertime. That is about 11 Eastern. And yeah, I hope it wasn't too early for you.
No, this is perfect.
Nice. All right, cool. So Charlie, I'm going to see you later on the Lost Girls chat stream on WebDM. What time's that? When can people catch that?
That is at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. Central. That's all the times I can extrapolate for now. But
awesome. Yeah. Check out Charlie's pinned tweet. It's got all of where she is, what she's doing, and how awesome it is.
It's going to be updated very soon because we've got a whole host of new shows starting next month, including Sky Chasers on Sundays in the 4 p.m. Eastern slot over on Tales from the Grim, featuring the wonderful Sam and Virginia. We have Susie joining us, and also Edelyn, who is Don's fiance, and this just incredible woman that I am so excited to play with. She was the best bear in Honey Heist where we played really late one night at PAX U, and I am super excited to unleash all these. And of course, Greg's playing. How can I forget?
Yeah, he is. I forgot.
I do love Greg. I was in his Star Trek game for one session because I couldn't do the whole season, and it was just amazing. So
Yeah,
It's
we're
gonna
really
be so
excited. The debut of that is May 12th. So a couple of weeks into May. But
Yeah.
yes.
Awesome sauce. And Virginia, where can we catch that tasty John Carter stream?
Tasty John Carter is live over on Facebook Live. So it's best if you go to the Modiphius page and click like and follow it, because I don't know if we're changing the time up again this week or not. But you'll get a notification when that goes live. And that's me running an hour-long session of John Carter of Mars, which is an RPG that I've kind of been working on at work, which is great fun, and I like playing it. We have the GM Phenom, Lloyd, on there, and two of our wargame development team as well, which is a lot of fun. I think the episodes are up on YouTube as well, so you can watch the first two on the Modiphius YouTube. There's also a few other videos of me talking for a little bit about John Carter, so check those out if you want to, I guess. They were fun. But other than that, you can find me at the places that have already been mentioned, which is basically here, and then May 12th over playing Sky Chasers with Charlie.
It's going to be super, super fun.
Yeah.
Tell us where can we find your art, and how can we maybe commission you to do some?
Well, you have to send me money, and then with the money, it goes into the art machine, and the art machine just sort of vomits something out.
I always wondered how that worked.
Yeah, it's weird. Twitter at Hermley. Do not do at Herm. That guy is tired of seeing the shit about me. Really confused. What's this? And nope, sorry, dude. Yeah, his fault for taking my name. So yeah, at Hermley on Twitter. Pin tweet has commission info, and I do RPG character portraits all the time. I've been doing some portraits for some game called Sky Chasers, I think. But yeah, I've been trying to do a short drawing stream on Mondays, Monday at 4-ish Central Time. Sometimes it doesn't happen because I saw Charlie put up a 5, and
Yeah, that's 5 Eastern. Which is 10 p.m. UK.
Nice.
you're a time wizard.
You are literally a time wizard.
But yeah, so I try to do a short stream there, and sometimes it doesn't happen. But yeah, I'll be playing in a soon to be announced game. Also starting the 12th, I believe. It will be after Sky Chasers,
Cool.
as far as I know. But other than that,
Nice. All right,
I
folks.
like turtles.
Cool. I like turtles
If
too.
anyone's curious, Sky Chasers is set in the 1950s in America. My cast will be playing FBI agents and consultants investigating strange phenomena and debunking alien abduction claims, amongst other things. So if you like spy stuff, check it out.
Go watch that.
But come back here next weekend, Sunday, see the Disaster Squad Mark II dealing with Dino Land, AIs, and all of the fun that Sam has prepped for us.
And stripper Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Maybe Stripper Jeff Goldblum.
What do you mean maybe? What do you mean maybe?
If not, we get Oz to hack the one in reception.
Yeah, it's already got the shirt unbuttoned.
If you are loving this, back that Kickstarter when it comes out, and you will get stripper Jeff Goldblum for all of your games.
Social
Oh
stretch
God,
goal.
is that a stretch goal?
Social stretch goal. Oh no.
Oh, I just want to write up 5e stats now for stripper Jeff Goldblum as a robot.
I mean, do it.
Do it.
All right, folks, that's enough ridiculousness from us. Charlie's got a show to run later, so I've got some food to eat. All right, if you want more information, follow us at blackcatsgaming.com or /blackcatsgaming on Facebook, or at followblackcats. That's it for us. Thank you very much, folks. Bye-bye.